Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. We
Good
will
evening,
start.
sir.
Good evening. We will start shortly in next 4-5 minutes. We're just awaiting the many people who are joining in. We'll just start in 5 minutes. Kindly put your phones on mute. Kindly put your
Hi, sir.
Your resound is coming. Sir, there is some disturbance in the background.
Yeah. So please, everybody, put your phones on the mute. Disturbance will go. We'll just start in next few minutes. One more minute and we will start. Good evening, everybody. Well, good evening, parents. Good evening, children. Children, welcome to the 20th webinar of Educational Initiative. It's a lovely Sunday evening. Welcome to the webinar where we are going to talk about Algebra Level 2. We had Algebra Level 1 last week. So if somebody needs to see that, it's available on YouTube. So before we begin, I would request all the parents to kindly be in the webinar and stay there for an hour, because students learn best when the parents are there. And also there is a special algebra quiz for the parents also. What we are going to do today? Today we are going to talk about educational initiatives, learn algebra via live class, solving one-step and multi-step equations, literal equations and formulas, practice the concept on MindSpark, quiz for the parents, very important. Parents, आपके लिए भी quiz है, so please ध्यान देके पूरा class आप भी attend करिए. Understand the uniqueness of MindSpark live class and question and answer. So with me today we have the teacher Jayanti Das Gupta, who is an MPhil in mathematics, has 20 years of experience, has worked as mathematics academic head of the department, principal in various institutions. She carries an extensive expertise in academic leadership, training and development, curriculum development, school support. A very warm welcome to you, Jayanti ma'am.
Thank you, Anshuman. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, parents, young friends, and thank you for joining us today evening. Anshuman has given a very eloquent introduction. I am basically a teacher. I have worked in schools for 20 years, for last 5 years working with EI as an academic head. Now let me talk about educational initiatives, Anshuman.
Yes, ma'am.
EI is a 20-year-old organization with a vision of creating a world where children everywhere are learning with understanding. We are present in 19 countries and work with 10 lakh students, and we are associated with more than 5,000 schools. Strength of EI has always been its deep research in pedagogy. We have 5 billion student responses that help us to understand how students learn. More than 10 lakh students have learned through MindSpark as a learning platform. And we have also conducted more than 1 crore assessments till date. So
Wow.
this is what is EI, Anshuman.
That is indeed a lot of work being done by EI. So starting today's class, ma'am, we've had one algebra webinar before wherein we talked about basics. Now, again, we have another webinar where children are going to learn about algebra. Now, what's so special about algebra, ma'am?
Yeah, a week before we discussed algebra in detail. We just started off talking what is algebra, what is its importance. Now the screen which all parents and children can see talks about algebra, how algebra is used across grades from grade 6 to grade 12. But I would like to also say that though algebra word is introduced in grade 6, but actually tuning of algebra is done from grade 2. When we say dash plus 3 is equal to 5. That dash or that unknown is algebra.
Oh. So
or
algebra,
when we say, yes, Anshuman, sorry.
So algebra, when we say children and parents, is not just a chapter that starts in grade 7, ends in grade 8. It is going to be pretty much in all your education journey. So my dear friends and parents, make sure that you have got your notebooks and your pens ready. Note down whatever Jayanti ma'am is teaching for future references. And here we go. Jayanti ma'am, all over to you. Can you just start delving deep?
Yeah, so let me share my screen.
Sure, ma'am. Hope children, you are ready. Can I get a thumbs up that everybody is ready for the class? Yeah, thumbs up everybody.
Yeah, my screen is visible to everyone, right?
Yes,
yeah, we see a lot of thumbs ups also. Let's dive into algebra. Before that, let us just quickly for 2 minutes, I'll just revise what we did. We started with a basic definition. We are saying algebra is part of mathematics in which letters and symbols are used to find out unknowns. So this is how we defined algebra. And then we said algebra and arithmetic same uses numbers and operations, but algebra uses numbers, operations, and unknowns. Then we went on to talk about what are terms, terminology used in algebra, like and unlike terms. And we solved some questions on algebra, as you can see on my screen. Then we went and discussed about what is an algebraic expression and how does an expression become an equation.
Right.
And then we discussed how do you solve an equation. So using 4 basic operators and balancing equations. This is
I
what we
remember that.
did. Yes, absolutely. And we solved various questions, right, on algebra. And then we started with something called word problems. How to approach a word problem. And we said there are 3 basic steps. Assign a variable, look at the question, find out what is given and what is asked, that is known and unknown. And then how do you relate these variables?
Absolutely.
Right.
So
and then
I
we
get
solved
that.
some questions. Yeah. So let's start with today.
So before
Today
we
are
start,
going level 2.
before we start, ma'am, I would request all the children to kindly note down these steps which ma'am said. Ma'am, can we see those steps again, please?
Yeah,
That,
sure.
equation for the children who could not attend the last class.
Absolutely. I'll show them.
So kids, there are 3 steps. First, it is assign variable. Now, there are 3 steps of solving word problems. They will come handy. Assign variable, understand known and unknown, and find out how these values are related. Please note it down.
So do I move ahead?
Yes, ma'am. Let's go ahead.
Right. So today, what are we going to do? We are going to solve some questions, some which are easy, some which are little difficult. So we'll understand what is solving one-step equation means, what is solving multi-step equation means, what properties, what formulas we use, and then I will just introduce what is a literal equation. So I just wrote it down. In fact, we'll be solving this equation using 2 methods, balancing, which we learned last week, and this week we'll use transposition method also. So let's start. Now, when the first step, assign variables, how do we decide how to assign variable and how many variables do we need for a problem? Do we take 1 variable, 2 variables? How? Let's understand this concept by looking at an interesting question. I think the question is visible to all of you. The diagram shows the amount of money that each player starts with in a video game. To be fair, each player should have the same amount of money. What amount of money should be in the chest and how do we know? Anshuman, 2 things here. One is to find unknown.
Yes, ma'am.
And second is to assign variables, right?
Correct. Correct.
So those 3 steps, I again wrote it down so that children can see it. Assign variables, know equation, balance equation, and define relationship between variables. Now let's start this off. Children ready? Okay. Yeah, so I can see thumbs up, right? Avantika is putting a thumbs up. Thank you, Avantika. So first, let us see total money that player 1 has. If I add all this money here, right, it comes to rupees 30. Then money in chest, we do not know. So this is your X. We don't know how much it is. So we are assigning variable here. Money that player 2 has is 11 plus this X. Are you all with me till here?
Right. And where did this 11 come from?
I added 5 plus 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11.
Okay, I get that now.
So 11 plus X, player 2 has 11 plus X, and player 1 has 30 rupees.
Correct.
Right? Now, to be fair, both the players should start with the same money. So money of player 1 should be equal to money of player 2.
Player 2.
What is money of player 1? 30.
Yes.
Money of player 2 is 11 plus X.
Yes.
Now the second step was to balance the equation. We have to isolate x term to find out x. So what do? We subtract both the sides with 11. 30 minus 11 is equal to 11 plus x minus 11. So what we do? We cancel 11. 30 minus 11 is 19. So x is equal to 19. Now we
This is
found out what value is there here in the test. It is 19.
almost the revision of what we did last week.
Absolutely. Now, but
So we,
what did we? Yes, Anshuman, sorry.
so ma'am, again, children, assign variable, balance equation, define relation. Yes, ma'am, I am getting it.
Now, what did we do to come to this? We used something called what we used one variable, that is x, and we used equality to balance the equation. To keep the equation same on both the sides, we have subtracted both the sides with 11. So we use these two. Now, children, you need to get little into properties. So we used equality as a property here in this question. Whenever we are using any other property, I will let you know. Right? So revision time. So this is, we need to understand the concepts or properties of maths with how we are solving it. So adding the same number or subtracting the same number to both the sides of an equation, this procedure is called equivalent equation. We just not add, right? Anshuman, what all do? Do we just add? We subtract
No,
it in
ma'am.
the above equation, no?
We subtract it. So if there is an equal to, and we have to perform any operation, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, that has to be done on both sides of the equation simultaneously.
Absolutely. So we have addition property of equality, subtraction property of equality, multiplication and division property of equality. So we are introducing 4 properties in algebra as of now.
I get it, ma'am.
Right. Let us do one more question. Now this question is for my friends, young friends here. This is a very interesting question. I'll read out the question for you. Do not answer anywhere. Your post will come. First, let me read out the question. Toucans and blue-yellow macaw are both tropical birds. Length of an average toucan is 2/3 length of an average macaw. Toucans are about 60 centimeters long. So this toucans are at 60 centimeters long. What is the length of average macaw? So let this length be L. Do not know. So this is
That's
a
a
hint to you.
hint.
Now you need to calculate. Yeah, you need to calculate this. Take out your paper and pen and start calculating.
So ma'am, can you just enlarge the question? Maybe images is okay, but can you enlarge the question, please?
Yeah. Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am. So children, please read the question carefully and solve it. You will have 1 minute to solve it. I will be putting a poll. You have to answer into that. So your time for solving starts now. Please start.
I see many parents, children joining now also, Anshuman.
Yes, yes. Everybody knows it's Jayanti ma'am's class. Nobody would want to miss it. Children, 30 more seconds to solve this question. Remember, assign variable, find unknown, find relationship. Read carefully. If you have solved, very nice. Let others solve, please. Okay, so I'm putting up the poll. Here is the poll. Please put your answers in the poll. We'll run the poll for 30 seconds. You just have to put your answers here. Don't worry, nothing is right, nothing is wrong. You have to put the effort first. Attempt the question, put the answer. Okay, last 10 seconds for the poll. Still many children have not answered. Don't worry, it's okay. Algebra requires a lot of practice. Okay, so I'm ending the poll. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, the polls ended.
Yeah.
I'm sharing the results. Now this is the answer. These are the results. And what is the right answer here? Can you just tell the answers?
No, first let us solve. Let it be still a mystery, right?
Okay, let us solve this. Let us solve this.
Let us solve this question. So
Yes, ma'am.
to save time, I just wrote down the steps and kept, right? Assign
Sure.
variable. Length of macaw is L centimeters. We do not know. What is given? Length of toucan, that is 60 centimeters. What is the relationship? Length of toucan is 2/3 length of macaw, right? So let us convert this English into mathematics. So length of toucan is 60 centimeters, is 2/3 length of macaw, that is L. Simple equation. Now we will do this using both the methods. We will use the balancing method and also solve it using transpose method.
Oh, transpose method. Children,
Yeah.
very interesting method to solve algebraic equations quickly. Please pay attention. Keep noting.
Let us first balance. Yeah, 2/3 L. Now to balance, what do? We need to isolate the variable here. So we need to multiply both the sides with 3. So 3 into 60 is equal to 2/3 L into L. Because we want to remove this 3. So 3.
So we multiply by 3.
Yeah, 2L. Now we have to remove 2.
Yes.
So we have to divide both the sides with 2.
Yes, yes.
So length is?
And you did not divide it on the L side.
I did 2 and 30. So 30 into 3, 90.
Oh, you cancelled 2 when you divided it on this side.
Yeah. Yeah. So I did not write one step. Yes. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Thank you. Now L we got 90. Now we all know the answer.
Yes.
Correct? Can we do this using transposition? What does transposition mean? Whenever we shift any number from one side of the equation to the other side, the operation reverses. Addition becomes subtraction and vice versa. Multiplication becomes division and vice versa. Simple.
Ma'am, it's very confusing. Can you show us how to do that?
Yeah, let us do. So 60 is equal to 2/3 L.
Yes.
We have to now transpose 3 to the other side of the equation. This side, 3 is division. When it goes to the other side, it reverses. So it becomes multiplication. So 3 into 60 is equal to 2L. First step.
Okay.
Now 2 here is multiplication.
Yes.
When it goes this side, it should become
Division.
Division, reverse. So 3 into 60/2 is equal to L.
Oh. This seems easier. Quicker.
Yes. Need to be little careful, but it's easy.
Yes. So how many of us understood this transpose? Can you please raise your hands? By clicking the
Yeah, we are getting hands.
Reaction. Raise hands.
Great. So we transpose 2 times. Once division became multiplication, other time multiplication became division.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
So to solve this, we used one variable. That
Yes,
is
there was
F.
one variable. Yes.
Correct? We used equality.
Yes.
Here we balanced the equation. We also used inverse because we inverse division and multiplication, multiplication and division. So to solve this question, we use 3 properties. One is one variable we used, and we used equality and inverse as a property.
Correct.
In the previous question, we used only one property, equality. Here we used 2 properties. Children, are you getting this?
Yes, ma'am. Let's go ahead.
Let's move ahead. Yeah. Now the second topic. We did one, those were all one-step equations. Now let us solve multi-step equation. What is this multi-step equation? Right? Let us understand with the same question that we had in the one-step equation. A video game, player 1, player 2. Player 1, player 2 have to have a fair game. So they have to have equal amount of money. Now, my player 1 has 3 chests and 6 rupees. And player 2 has 30 rupees. So this is 30. And this is 3 chest. We don't know what is chest. So X, 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 similar looking chest and 6 rupees. Right? So again, we use those 3 steps: assign variables, balance equation, define relationship. Now let's solve this. Total money the player 2 has is 30. Money in the chest is X. How many chests we have?
3.
The money that player 1 has is 3x plus 6. Is this correct?
So, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. 3 chests. Money in the 3 chests is X plus X plus X, which is 3X you taught last week, plus 6, which is given there. I understand that, ma'am. Yes.
So let us start. We are defining the relationship.
Relationship
money
is,
of player.
yes, yes, yes.
Money of player 1 should be equal to money of player 2. So player 1, what is the money player 1 has? 3x plus 6, and player 2 has
30 rupees.
30. Again, let us solve this. Do we use both the methods, Anshuman, or only transpose?
I think I'll go with transpose. That is quicker.
Quicker and better.
Quicker and better. So transpose means when something from one side of equation goes to other side of equation, the operation reverses. If it is plus, it becomes minus. Minus becomes plus.
Correct. So let us start with that. So 3x.
Yes,
so first, from left hand side, we need x alone in the left hand side. We need to isolate x. So
yes,
the first step is we move 6 this side. So 3x is equal to 30. Here 6 was plus. When it comes to the other side of the equation, it will become
minus.
Minus.
Yes,
just
it becomes
reduce
minus.
The pen. It is coming. Okay. Now 3x is 30 minus 6, that is 24.
Okay.
Now 3x, 3 into x, we want only x. So we need to move 3 this side.
Yes, yes.
Now x, here 3 is multiplication. When it goes to the other side, it becomes
division.
So your x is 8.
Right.
So every chest has 8 rupees in it.
Can we test it, ma'am? Should we just find if it is true?
Absolutely. So we have to have player 1 and player 2 money same. So player 1 is 3x plus 6.
Yes.
Our x is 8. So 3 into 8 plus 6. 3 into 8 is 24 plus 6 is 30.
Okay.
And this is something that player 1 has.
All right. So 3 simple steps. Define the variable. Find what is given in the question and what is not given, and make a relationship. I think I'm getting it, ma'am. Yes.
I'm tempted to give one question. Now, this question I really wanted to give. It has fractions.
Okay.
How do we solve these fractions? There is one trick method and there is one normal method of doing it. Okay. We'll do both.
Can children solve it? Let's take a minute, solve it,
Yeah.
and see which method are you using. Ma'am will tell both the methods. Just find out what is the answer and put it into the chat box. Can we enable the chat box, please?
There is no poll. You can solve it quickly and put it in the chat box. Let's see who solves it quickly.
Solve it quickly. Put that into chat box. Parents, don't help your children because you will have a quiz coming in and children will not help you. Can we have? Yes. So I have somebody saying answer.
Okay.
All right. Don't cheat. 24 could be incorrect also. Huh? Somebody said 30. Somebody said minus 120. So various answers coming in. Huh?
16.
16 is also an answer. Oh, 6 is also an answer. 16 is an answer. 24 is right. 20 is an answer. So please, children, think. Don't look at the chat box. Just focus upon the solution. Somebody gave 62. Okay. Okay, ma'am, let's see what is the correct way. Like, what is the correct way?
So if there are fractions, if you have to find out LCM, then one method is find the LCM. LCM of 4 and 3 is 12. So method 1 is multiply both left-hand side and right-hand side with the LCM. So LCM is 12. Left-hand side is 3x by 4 minus x by 3. And so we multiplied both the sides with the LCM. Now in the left-hand side, we have to use distributive property to complete this. 12 into 3x by 4 minus 12 into x by 3 is equal to 10 into 12. I normally don't calculate because it gets cancelled. 4 1 times, 4 3 times, 3 1 times, 4 times. So 3 into 3, 9x minus 4x is equal to 10 into 12. 9x minus 4x is
5x.
10 into 12.
Now we
X
transpose.
equal to,
Now we transpose
we
this
now,
5.
correct. We divide, no, but okay. Either we can transpose or we can divide both the sides with 5.
I like to transpose, man.
Okay, right? So we divide this by, so we get x equal to 24.
What was the other method, ma'am?
The other method. Yeah, let us do the other method, right?
Yes.
What we do is, if we have 3x by 4 and x by 3 is equal to 10, we simply cross multiply, right? So we 3x into 3 minus 4x, 4 into x, and we multiply the denominators, that is 4 into 3, and we get answer. Right hand side, we write it as it is.
Okay.
So 3x into 3 becomes 9x minus 4x by 12 is equal to 10. So 9x minus 4x is 5x.
5x.
By 12 is equal to 10.
Now we transpose it for sure.
Yeah, we transpose it. Division becomes multiplication. So 5x is equal to 10 into 12. Right? Here again we transpose. Now here 5 is multiplication. So it becomes x equal to 12.
Oh, x equal to 24.
24. Yeah. So
yes. How can all the children learn such tricks? How is it possible?
it is practice and exposure to different kind of problem. It is our general tendency, to find an easy way out.
Yes, yes. Right? So you say Algebra is all about practicing again and again, more and more.
And it's fun. It's fun playing with numbers.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's go ahead, ma'am. Let's go ahead.
Yeah. Now I have one very interesting question for students. So algebra is just not mathematics. It's also, last question we saw, it's about biologists can use it. We can also, physicists also can use algebra, right?
Okay.
So let us do one speed and distance question.
So I hope all of the children know what is speed, distance, time relationship. You have to use the physics concepts into maths to arrive at a solution. Just for the benefit of everybody, distance is equal to speed into time. That is one formula that you may require to solve this question. I'm going to give you 1 minute, 30 seconds to solve these questions. And everybody solve this question, and I'm going to get the poll to answer this. Parents, I would humbly request, please do not help your children. Let them do it.
Anshuman, do I read out this question for students?
I think kids can read it.
Right. Okay. I want everyone to solve it out. Please use your paper and pen to solve this out on the paper.
Ma'am, the question has gone. Can you please share your screen? Ma'am, you're mute also. Ma'am, you're on mute. We can't hear you. Please share the question. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Finished? Students finished?
No?
It's a little lengthy problem.
Take your time. 1 minute more. It's not difficult.
It's not difficult.
Pay attention. You have to pay attention.
3 things that you have to find: distance, time 1 and time 2. Time to go and time to return.
Okay, so should I launch the poll?
Yeah.
All right. So poll is here. Please answer. Please mark your answers in the poll. Okay, 30 more seconds for the poll to stop. Quick. Please answer. Children, all of you have not attempted it. Just attempt the question. It is okay if you get a wrong answer. There is no problem. We'll learn out of it. Okay, the poll ends in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm sharing the result.
Almost 53% students have given the correct response.
So half of the children have given correct response. Half of them have not given correct response. I'm sure you would like to understand how to solve this question. Would you like to understand that, guys? Okay, sure. Jayanti ma'am, can you please help us to understand this? I'm just closing.
So I'll solve this question for you. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So speed is equal to distance by time. Let the distance be d. We don't know. Assign variable. Right.
Right.
Onward journey. What was the speed? 60 kilometers per hour. Distance was, we don't know what is the distance d, and time, let it be t1. While going, we are saying t1. While coming, we are saying t2. Now, return journey, the speed was 40 kilometers per hour and the distance is same. Time is t2. Correct?
Right.
Now, can we find out t1? We'll do transpose. t1 is d by 60 and t2 is d by 40. Why did we find out t1 and t2? Because the question says that, let us now find the equation. What does the question say? It says on the return journey takes 1 hour longer. So t2 is t1 plus 1 hour. Return journey was 1 hour longer. So t2 is t1 plus 1 hour. What is t2? d by 40. What is t1?
d by 60
plus 1. Right? We keep all the variables on one side and so we transpose this here. When we bring here, what will happen? d by 60 is positive here. It becomes negative this side. Transposition is equal to 1. We transpose the entire thing as it is.
Full fraction,
Now,
right?
Correct. Now, either we can take LCM and do, or we can cross multiply. Anything that is convenient to us. Let us cross multiply. It becomes easier. So 60 into d minus 40 into d by 60 into 40 is equal to 1. Now 60d minus 40d is 20d is equal to 60 into 40 is equal to 1. We again take this side. So we write 20d is equal to 60 into 40 into 1. We do next transposition. We remove this 20. 20 is multiplication here. So we write d is equal to 60 into 40 by 20. So your d is 120. It is 120 kilometers. Right? Now we found out the distance, but still we have to find out time 1 and time 2.
Yes.
So
yes.
We'll substitute here. Time 1, 120 by 60.
Yes.
2 hours. Going was 2 hours. Coming was 1 hour more. So let's see whether it matches or not. So our equation is correct. Going time was 2 hours. Coming time was 3 hours. And the distance, one-way distance is 120 kilometers. So two-way distance will be
240.
120 plus 120 total.
Ooh. When you do it, it looks so easy, ma'am. When we attempt it, it is very confusing.
It is step by step. If you follow steps, it's simple. And we should enjoy doing it.
Yes. Children should not be afraid of making mistakes. Just learn from these mistakes. I think it's time for the parents quiz. A lot of questions have been asked to the students. So students,
so I'll stop sharing. I have to stop sharing, Anshuman?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Yeah, thank you.
So children, call your parents, and parents, if you are there, pick up the pen and paper, because now we have completed the class for the student. There is a quiz for the parents. I see a lot of smiles on the faces of children when they have called their parents. So parents, आपके लिए क्वेश्चन है. प्लीज इस क्वेश्चन को ध्यान से देखिएगा और करिएगा. ये अलजेब्रा का क्वेश्चन हो भी सकता है, नहीं भी हो सकता है. So we start with the question. Please read that very carefully. In a farm, there are 10 animals. Some have 2 legs, some have 4 legs. If there are 34 legs in total, what is the total number of 2-legged animals and 4-legged animals? Children, you can also attempt it, but don't help your parents in solving it. Can I see a raise of hands where all the parents are there? How many parents do we have? Could children raise your hands? Yes.
38. Oh, good.
Oh, more than 100 parents.
I can solve it using algebra, Anshuman.
Ma'am, I have a trick to solve this. I'll teach children a trick to solve this. So children and the parents, I hope you're ready. I'll give you 30 seconds to make equations. Okay, time starting. Just raise your hands as soon as you solve this question. Just raise your hands. Parents are required to solve this. Children, do not help your parents, huh? Okay, so how many of us have done it like this? Please raise your hands. How many of us have made equations? Okay, so let me tell you a simpler method of solving this. And this would be without equations. So we have 10 animals. You see 10 here. Each animal will have 2 legs for sure. भाई अगर 4 legs हैं animals के, तो 2 तो सबके पास होंगे. Watch it carefully. अब अगर 2 legs सबके पास थे, so then there are 20 legs which have gone. बचे हमारे पास 14 legs. 34 legs थे, 14 legs बचे. Let us see. अभी जो 14 legs हैं, इनको काउंट करते हैं. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Legs are over. 10 animal थे. Now we see there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 animals with 7 animals with 4 legs, and there are 1, 2, 3 animals with 2 legs. How many of us were able to do it this way without the equation? Superb. I have some parents who have done it without equation. Okay, so please understand, children, please understand, parents. The mind needs to be open for critical thinking. It is not just follow one same route. And this comes only by practice. Okay, parents, are you ready for one last question? Parents, I need to see you to say, are you ready for, children, are your parents ready for one another question? You can say yes or no. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you solve this, please? Please solve this. Children, do not help your parents. Basic arithmetic. Children are not going to help their parents at all. Please solve this on a piece of paper and show it on the video. I'll give you 30 seconds for this also. Oh, I have 31 parents have already done that. 20 more seconds. Parents, simple addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Okay, time's up. Here's the answer. Can somebody show me if they did it like this? Okay, so children, did you like your parents working on maths? Can I see some smiles? If you like your parents working on maths? Yeah, I see some smiles. I see some big smiles. Parents, I'm sure आपको अच्छा लगा होगा बहुत दिनों शायद कुछ पेरेंट्स को अच्छा लगा होगा काफी दिनों बाद उन्होंने मैथ्स में चिल्ड्रन मैथ्स में अपने आजमाए. Now let's go ahead, parents, and understand very critical thing here. Now these are the poll results of the children who had answered those two questions. अब ये क्वेश्चंस जो बच्चों ने आंसर किए थे आफ्टर जयंती मैम हैज टॉट, जयंती मैम ने पढ़ाया उसके बाद बच्चों ने आंसर किए. सबको जयंती मैम का पढ़ाया हुआ अच्छा लगा. लेकिन अगर आप ध्यान दें पेरेंट्स, देन not every child has answered it correctly. 50 to 60% of children have answered it correctly. आप साथ में बैठे थे, बच्चे ध्यान दे रहे थे, जयंती मैम पढ़ा रहे थे. So this phenomena where children are unable to understand even after being taught immediately is called learning gap. Jayanti ma'am, can you please tell a little more about learning gap? Why does it occur?
This happens even in school, Anshuman. When we teach something, there's always difference between what is taught and what is learned. And that is what is learning gap. So what we do when we have children face-to-face is we go to them, we give them revision, we give them homework, so that this learning gap is reduced as much as possible.
So आज के टाइम पे पेरेंट्स जब मैक्सिमम स्टडीज ऑनलाइन ही हो रही हैं, टीचर का इंटरेक्शन बहुत ही ज्यादा कम है. So it is very difficult to bridge this learning gap, and it has been found कि अभी schools जब खुलना शुरू होंगे तो the learning gap would be as high as 50%.
Correct, almost 50%.
So ऐसा नहीं है कि अगर आपके बच्चे को ग्रेड 8th में कोई कॉन्सेप्ट समझ में नहीं आया है, the problem could lie in grade 6 or grade 7 also. पुराने मिसकंसेप्शन से जो चले आ रहे हैं, and those misconceptions need to be removed. So ma'am, with all this learning gap and old misconception, what would you suggest the best way to learn mathematics?
Now, maths is about obviously teacher. We have seen that teaching is a very important concept. A teacher who is impactful, who understands, makes things easy and connects.
Yes.
And practice. In mathematics, it's very important to practice. And practice, just not any practice. Like you said, how do we have tricks, or why do we have shortcuts?
Yes.
That is because children should be exposed to different type of questions, and they should be able to solve variety of situations, real life situations.
Correct. So when we talk in terms of practice, ma'am, you said that we are having these live classes जहां पर आप और आपके जैसे टीचर्स पढ़ाते हैं तो impactful teaching तो समझ में आया. What do we do about this eye practice, which is a very, very important part of mathematics, is practicing differently. इसमें आपने बोला मैम, how can we use mind spark into this? Can you please tell us?
Yeah, so let me share my screen. Let me show you how a very a program that is run by or has a backend as adaptive logic, research, pedagogy, and artificial intelligence can help students to do intelligent practice. So we have to go to www.mindspark.in and then log in. Every child will be given a unique username and password and the student logs in.
So live classes में क्या होता है parents? Teachers पढ़ाते हैं, they teach, and then we make students work upon MindSpark. Both the things are being done here. So let's see, we saw live teaching which Jayanti ma'am did. Let's see practice.
Yeah. So let's see how linear equation in one step. We have done one step and multi-step. So let's see how MindSpark helps children to reinforce whatever is taught in the class. Now see this question, how beautifully it explains what is balancing or equality as a property with a visual. It says if you take away something from the left side, you have to take it away even from the right side, right? So what is y?
Okay, that's the right answer. It's a very unique way of practicing. Yes.
Yeah, with the answer, there is an explanation. Whether I'm right or wrong, there is an explanation.
Okay. Okay.
Now, without the balance, did the child understand the concept of balancing? Right?
Correct.
I think I still understood. So I go ahead. It explains with the equation, visual, to reinforce.
Correct. Correct. So now it becomes
like
minus.
This, yeah, slowly the difficulty level increases.
Correct. Correct. So children and parents, these questions are not same for every child. Every child gets different questions, different type of questions, so that the practice is not monotonous, so that children lives algebra or mathematics. I understand this, ma'am, that every time a child is practicing, that changes the level of the question subsequently.
Exactly.
So can we see any other topic also, ma'am?
Yeah, I have. So teacher activates the topic that whatever the teacher is teaching in the class and then guides the student accordingly. So we did one step, let us do multi-step.
Okay.
Right? Now, if you see, there is something called it's just not choosing one option, but it is also solving it. Like how we solve one question on notebooks, right? I can write here 5x equal to, I can write here 25 minus 5. Teacher also can see stepwise. So I can write x equal to 25 minus 5 is 20. 20 divided by 5. See, once I say divide, it automatically comes there.
This is very intuitive. Very, very intuitive.
20 by 5 is 4. Now say, is this enough? Do you want to submit this as final answer? I say yes. And it shows me every step. And what am I doing? What operation am I doing? The way I explained.
Correct. So parents and children, please understand, practice is a very, very important part for mathematics. It is not enough just understanding the concepts. What is equally important is to practice in different ways. Now, in MindSpark live classes, which you saw a demonstration right now, a teacher is teaching and then we are using MindSpark. So, ma'am, you told me that students can practice on MindSpark. Can teachers get benefit from MindSpark while they are teaching the students?
Yes, in fact, sometimes I think I use MindSpark more than students. So every teacher also gets a login ID and password.
Why do you use MindSpark?
I'll tell you. I will show you why. I'll show you why. So I go to the class. Yeah, I go to my class.
So this, you're going to the class which you are teaching in live class,
Yeah,
and you
correct.
check what they are doing in Mindspark, right, ma'am?
Yes. So I go and check the report. It's taking some time. Give me.
So I'm sure there's some network issues. So parent, what happens is when these reports come in, teacher is aware of what mistakes children have done, and the teacher modifies her lesson plan or the way of teaching as per the general understanding of the class.
Yeah.
And
I
also,
can, yeah. See, this is how I can see the progress of each child.
I get it, ma'am. I think it's time for us to know a little more about Mindspark live classes. So children and parents, we have learnt about practice in Mindspark. Now, with the current scenario, there are so many things that we have which are being used for online education and teaching. Now, most of the time it is videos, most of the time it is worksheets, and it is passive learning content with very high teacher ratio to student. There is no individual attention, less parental interaction, and very, very expensive. So we have come up with Mindspark live classes where you learned from a teacher, right? A few minutes back, Jayanti ma'am taught you. They're very small batches of 1:20. So a lot of personal attention being given to the child. We have well-experienced teacher and use artificial intelligence and machine learning. So ensure that teaching is customized for each child. There are weekly and monthly tests and a lot of interaction with the parents, that parents are aware of what their children are learning. And believe me, all of this comes at a fraction of cost. So live teaching with Mindspark, we present Mindspark live classes with 100% learning. And mind it, it's not we who have been talking about Mindspark. Across the world, everybody has. So Harvard, JPAL, World Bank, even UNESCO, all of these organizations have basically gone ahead and told Mindspark works. So let me just tell you, how can you be the part of Mindspark classes? So Mindspark live classes are run for 24 to 26 weeks. 2 times in a week for 1 hour, proper live teaching happens, like Jayanti ma'am taught. Then for alternate other days, there is practice for 30 minutes on Mindspark. We cover all the boards. There are weekly, monthly tests, recording of the sessions. We use Zoom and Mindspark as the platform. All you need to have a laptop and a tablet and a stable internet connection to get all the benefits and most importantly, better results and no fear of mathematics. Parents get detailed reports, best of both the worlds, technology and human intervention. Of course, a child who's a self-regulated learner is what parents get there. Now, what is the price of Mindspark in India? So 24 weeks of live classes and 52 weeks of Mindspark math. The price is 8,400 rupees for the entire year, which basically comes at 700 rupees per month. Okay. Now, all the parents and all the children here on the call are getting an exclusive 20% discount. So the price comes to be 6,740, which is 562 per month. Our 15th batch will start in few days. So grade 7, grade 8, there will be separate batches for grade 7 and grade 8. Our 15th batch would start in a few days. Please enroll. For all the international students, you have it $125 per year, and all the services that I've talked would be given. So if you want to register for Mindspark live classes, you need to go to www.mindspark.in, click on Purchase Mindspark. and make payment there. Alternatively, our teams are also going to contact you. तो अगर आपको लाइव क्लास अटेंड करनी है या बच्चे को लाइव क्लास ज्वाइन करनी है, उनको ऑनलाइन जाना है www.mindspark.in पे, परचेज माइंडस्पार्क पे क्लिक करना है और आपको एडमिशन मिलेगा EI की माइंडस्पार्क लाइव क्लासेस में। बैचेस स्टार्ट होने वाले हैं, तो आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है प्लीज थोड़ा जल्दी करें। कोई क्वेश्चंस हैं आपके तो प्लीज चैट बॉक्स पे लिखना शुरू करें। मैं जो भी क्वेश्चंस आंसर कर सकता हूं मैं आंसर करूंगा। प्लीज ओपन द चैट बॉक्स फॉर एवरीबॉडी टू आंसर इट। चैट बॉक्स ओपन है, आप लिख सकते हैं प्लीज। इन केस अगर मैं आपके क्वेश्चंस के आंसर्स नहीं दे पा रहा हूं तो बॉटम में देयर इज अ नंबर विच इज रिटन, प्लीज उस नंबर पे व्हाट्सएप कर दीजिए या harit@ei-india.com पे आप ईमेल भी कर सकते हैं। एनी क्वेश्चंस प्लीज आस्क। So package started from July. The next one is starting in next week. Mohammed, that was very bad what you have written out there. My child was not able to solve. So आपके बच्चे को नीतू जी, there needs to be separate attention to be given. This was a demonstration. So in case your child is being given a separate attention, the child will be able to solve. Yes, Mindspark also follows the school teaching. So we have two subjects, maths and English. Absolutely, the classes are from grade 3 to grade 10. If your child is in any other grade, they can also get it. Class timings are 4:30 to 5:30 and 6:30 to 7:30. There are two timings in the evening. You're welcome. Yes, I will take, I don't take monthly fee. So it had to pay 5,500 because there may be some discounts that were being allowed there. So per day, one class for mathematics. So if you want my email ID, you can write it at the number, at the email ID below. Grade 11 not available. You are welcome, Shreya. Thank you. Free trial is over. Mr. Mohammed, I would request you to stop using profanity. Okay. Goodbye. You're welcome if you've liked it. So free trial is not there. You have to register for it. Timings for the new batches are 4:30 to 5:30 and 6:30 to 7:30. I'm so happy you like the class. So last 1 minute. Thank you very much, everybody. You have a great evening ahead. Any questions, please note down the email ID written below, which is harit@ei-india.com. Also, you can message your queries at 98792-10756. I'm so happy you can understand that clearly. So thank you very much, everybody. You have a great evening ahead. Bye-bye.